Well, I think this is part 4 at this point, but oh my gosh, I gotta catch everybody and bring everybody up to speed. I want to thank you for tuning in to the 2024 election results. Let me safely put on my MAGA cap for you guys. And also, my wish was, Alexa, could you change the president? But bam, why? Yes, I can. Because you won't believe it. Associated Press finally called Georgia after making us wait all night. So if I'm going to go over, we're going to take a look, but I am pretty sure Trump just won Pennsylvania, which means that, honey, it's over. And I actually queued up a couple videos. I forgot to bring them in off my phone from TikTok. Maybe I can get them here. Not sure. Oh, because I just saw President Trump is at his party, and they're having a grand old time. They are having an incredible time. Let me find this for you. I'm going to bring you over. You got to see this. This is historical. This is an historical night. Thank you for being here with me. As you can see, Trump just took North Carolina, and they had already called that, but they just called Georgia, and they put him up to 247. But I just got word that he will be taking Pennsylvania because it's at 91% reporting, and he's ahead. So after he's going to get 19 more electoral votes. Okay, so it'll be 247. He'll be at 266, and then basically it's just going to be over. Now, Associated Press is taking forever to call some of this, and so it's frustrating. This is the party. Let's go over here to the party where Trump is expected to speak.
62% of Pennsylvania voters say that they favor
and state maybe doing work by the Democrats.
So Donald Trump will be speaking.
He campaigned so energetically, ruthlessly, fiercely, and with more joy than
I mean, really, this is it. Everybody, this is it. He is going to win. I mean, 100%. Associated Press is getting ready to call Pennsylvania. That's right. And Sherry, what I don't do is until Associated Press, and all the channels call it too. I wait. I patiently wait. But that's right. He just took PA. This is the third 3 of the 7 swing states. He only needed 3 really to make it all the way to the path out to the White House. And Kamala has no path. She's already left. I don't have it queued up, but Breitbart News, someone sent it to me. Thank you for Caroline Green. I'd already caught word that all of Kamala's supporters left for the night because she threw the towel in. She left, or she didn't even show up to her own, her campaign. She just totally didn't even show up. And so they all left, and she's expected to make a speech tomorrow, but it's over. And Donald Trump is going to be the 47th president of the United States, and all of our prayers worked. So I'm so excited. I'm like in tears. And Trump will be speaking.
And you saw that through the whole campaign. He is
not sure when
enthusiastic about doing the job.
Might be now.
Being President Harold, and it is just an absolutely remarkable. I think if you wrote this as a movie script, people would say this would never happen in the United States of America.
He's a single, I've said this before, he's the single greatest political athlete I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's going to be speaking in a moment. I'm getting ready to show this live. I'm sorry. I'm getting ready to show Trump speaking live here.
Things I didn't quite understand that I thought maybe detracted from them, but tonight obviously proves that too. He also ran a traditional campaign. He connected with voters on issues.
So I'm getting ready to show y'all live. Trump is getting ready to speak. He's getting ready to give his victory speech right now. Look at this. We did it. We did it. We did it. We did it.
If indeed, I think he's almost at 2
I got to edit my.
Here shortly once Alaska comes in. Don't write off the American people.
Trump
let us not be critical of people for voting for President Trump. He did something we didn't do in this campaign. We had to reevaluate, reassess. Mr. Wonderful said it a little earlier, that may give us an opportunity as a party to revamp. And perhaps we should think about that. But don't write off the people, the American people, for the decision they made this evening.
Sorry about that. I've got some crazy commercial.
Dad bods deserve better teas. I found this brand called True Club.
Understand how some in the mainstream media are going to take this, because it was so over the top one way that they thought it was done. There was a landslide prediction from a lot of the media that she was going to have the landslide. It looks like he's going to have the landslide tonight.
Yeah, it's truly remarkable. And, you know, the revolution rolls on, and this is not just you know, a victory for the White House tonight, but also, you know, this is the end of the old Republican Party, which of course Donald Trump took on. That was the first thing that he did. The very first thing that he did in 2015 was
See
take
here,
on
I
the
just want to show
Republican
everybody.
Party. He has completely reshaped the Republican Party. The Republican Party is no longer a.
I want to show you this.
You
This is
know,
so. I want you to see
doesn't
this
stand
with
for a lot
me.
of things that it stood for before. He has made it a far more middle class, working class.
Pennsylvania is being called for Trump here in a minute. It's going to bring him up to 266. It's over. Game over. Michigan, Donald Trump is ahead. Wisconsin, Donald Trump is ahead.
And you can't help
Minnesota,
but think that with this victory,
it's
in
tight,
4 years from now,
but it's
he's gonna
over.
have the
It's
mantle
over.
that he can hand to the
Arizona,
next Republican. So I don't know
Donald
how
Trump.
Republicans ever go back to the old party that they were. But it was
Nevada,
truly
Donald Trump. It's
extraordinary, and
over,
it was
everybody. This
all
is it.
because of the
This is
force
really
of one
it.
guy, one man who had the fortitude, the strength, the vision, the refusal
Wow,
to
and
accept anything. You know, all of the experts counting him out, and he just.
anyway, they actually have the stage set for Trump to come out any moment, and it was too big to rig, and they could not do it. And so it's just wild, isn't it? He's getting ready to give the victory speech at 10:28 p.m. here in California, and I'm so excited to show you this. My T-shirt says, "Alexa, can you change the president?" And I'm wearing it because it was a sign, and I knew that this was going to happen. So let me take you back over. Hopefully, he's going to come out anytime.
After, say, January 6th. And then you're looking at races now in state.
If I were him, I would wait for AP to put it up here on his win for PA. And it was a tight race. Pennsylvania, he had 51.2% of the vote. Kamala having 47.8%. I mean, it was so tight. It's just it was literally like a couple 100,000, votes. And so Associated Press is taking forever to throw these results up, I noticed. And, oh gosh, this is just amazing. I tell you, there's people just standing around waiting right now.
Mark Penn, when you look at Jimmy Carter, we had hostages in Iran, we have hostages in Gaza right now, very high inflation and a malaise in many ways in the country that I think these people who have been called a lot of names have had enough of. What is your impression of what this means tonight?
Well, I think this means a lot to a lot of people. I think the working class are looking for a renewal of American jobs. I think people are looking for a border that is sane and an immigration system
And
that
praise
works.
Jesus,
I think
really,
a lot of
Sharon.
people
Praise
over in the
Sandy.
Middle
Praise
East are looking
Jesus.
for
That's right.
Iran to
Hallelujah.
pull
Thank you,
back
God.
In the face of
What a
president
victory.
who
What
they
a
fear.
victory.
And, look, I think
Victory.
it's
We
going to be
did it.
incumbent on
We
the
did
Democratic Party to understand that the people have spoken. And
Yes,
to
the people have
dissemble
spoken.
and dismantle this lawfare system that they have built up here, which is going to raise a whole series of questions that are going to have to be answered now. But they cannot say that they are better than Donald Trump and recreate a system that does not.
I'm just going to turn it down for a moment. I know that I did see the party where he is right now, and Elon Musk is there, and Trump was around supporters. Okay, they're showing him right now. I'm just not sure about when he's going to speak, but it hopefully will be soon. It's hard to believe, isn't it?
They're going to do.
And we love this. What's happened here is the system self-corrected. When you try and break the American model, it fixes itself. And I think people should give credit within the Democratic Party. Donald Trump saved them tonight too, because they're going to have to take a spatula to these policies and bring it back to the center over the next 4 years. And in a way, reset. We talked about this earlier, but he saved entrepreneurship. He saved the entire model of the S&P 500, because taxing 20% higher was a really bad idea, and it self-corrected. Capital, and this is why I'm getting on a plane tomorrow night. I intentionally didn't leave till tomorrow night so I could go to Geneva, go to Abu Dhabi, go to Riyadh, and say it's 21% corporate taxes, 100% not going to change. That is very important for people like me that bring capital back to this country. It fixed itself. It fixed itself. And I think that's why America works. It has worked for 200 years. When it gets too crazy, it fixes itself. And whether you love Trump or you hate him, every Democrat owes him a thank you very much, Mr. President.
By the way, as the markets, the power market, and those election markets were moving, Bitcoin went up exponentially.
Yes, I'm long Bitcoin.
So you're behind. Later.
You know, speaking of Bitcoin, I'm also struck by just calling Pennsylvania here, Dana. Trump embraced Elon Musk in an enormous way. A lot of stories were written that said that he was going to blow it in Pennsylvania, that the people who were working on his outreach teams didn't know what they were doing. He's going to.
And he got a lot of criticism. Remember the $1 million giveaway for registered voters. But Selena Zito, who's somebody that we follow and we've had on the show many times, and she knows that area very well. She said the people of that region love somebody who is a big thinker, who wants to create jobs, who is like looking into the future, and they can get behind that. And they love somebody who can really lead. And leadership takes courage. And you have to be willing to make decisions where you are going to be criticized. I think this is one of the problems that Kamala Harris has always had. She doesn't want to take a position on anything. We haven't even talked about how in California, the law to basically make shoplifting illegal again passed overwhelmingly. And Gascon, our friend down the DA in Los Angeles, lost by 22 votes. I mean, this is in California, so it was everywhere.
That's right.
And 2 days
And the
before
law,
22 points, thank you.
We passed the prop.
Wouldn't even take a position on that. 75% of the people in California wanted it gone. You can't take a position to be with them.
Not only that, you were part of Prop 47, which changed the law the other way.
Right.
When you were in office.
So not wanting to take a position and not being willing to be
Look at
criticized
the press.
is a problem if you want to be a leader at that level.
She had that affliction.
Yeah, so basically what they just said is we passed a prop tonight here in the state of California that is overturning Prop 47, which gave these criminals the right to steal $950 a day without any felony, any criminal prosecutions. We flipped that with a Prop 36. It did pass, so that is excellent, and it looks like Gascon lost. So this is excellent. We're doing great. We're doing so good. Really, really good. And I'm going to go back over at AP and see if they called it yet.
Proposed that I'm with you on. But
Didn't.
We're a great country, and we're going to continue to be great. And I trust and hope and believe that President
Your party will be great again.
I want the
And you can thank Donald Trump for that.
Because but he inherited an economy also that was in pretty good shape. I don't want to quarrel about that. I want going forward. I agree with you. I want the country to be great, and I hope that both of the parties can work together to try and do that. And I salute President Trump tonight. What a great win. And I agree with you in this regard. My party's got to reimagine and reinvent itself going forward.
Listen, I wrote about this, the unity and
You did.
past presidents and past losers and winners and what they said. This is a big speech, Brett, for former President Trump. As he gets ready to deliver this in front of a crowd, he's obviously taken the slings and arrows and everything that's been said, the fascism, all of the things we talked about tonight. But this moment is actually a moment to reach out.
It's an opportunity if you choose to do that, but it's also 1:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta wonder how many people are allowed to hear. But
Oh, they're there.
And
He's definitely.
a lot of people are still
the
up.
question is, how much is the national TV audience?
I bet they're still in.
You know, I think back at the moment in Iowa, at the beginning of this process, Brett, when we went to town hall with him, Westbrook, and he, you know, we asked him about all of this revenge stuff and that he was going to want retribution, and this is what everyone heard. And there were times when he had language that was that matched that, but he said that he wanted success to be his revenge, and that he wanted a successful America. And I would imagine that we're going to hear something along those lines tonight, but we'll see.
Brett, you wrote in your piece, you quoted one of those great old Republican presidents, H.W. Bush, who said that a campaign is a disagreement and an election is a decision. And decisions clear the way for harmony and peace. You know, maybe it's
Listen, there are a lot of Thanksgiving tables that people are still gonna have hard feelings after this election, more than any other
I
election.
have one of them.
And if you know,
Yeah.
passing the Brussels sprouts is not gonna be as easy, Thanksgiving Day, but this is a chance to move forward, Brett. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say that one thing that can happen here, and it happened to Biden. Biden
They
was
can't
elected.
cheat.
We had
They
every
can't.
reason to believe
I've
that
been-
he would be this sort of
There's absolutely no
moderate
way.
deal-making guy that he'd been when he was in the Senate. Yes, he's always followed through the drift of his party, but he worked across the aisle. Many
They
senators
can't.
had
It's too
Republican
late.
friends and so on. They thought that would
And I'll,
probably be
I'll
the
show
kind
you,
of
I'll give you proof. I'm sure Trump's not going to come out just this moment, but I want, excuse me, everybody to see proof here. This is Associated Press. Everything has to be run by them, through them. And you only need 270 electoral votes to win. Trump has 247. Pennsylvania is going to give him 19. 247 plus 19 will be 266, around 266, 267. Kamala Harris has already gone home. She sent her campaign home. People walked off. She's not even speaking tonight. There's nothing they can do. They cannot steal this. Once they award Trump, the AP gives Trump Pennsylvania, it is game over. We will not be waking up tomorrow. There's nothing they can do. It's over. I mean, I don't know how Trump's going to handle this speech. I don't think Trump is going to come out until AP gives him PA. That's what I think. This is what I think. I
which
think
point
the
over
crowd is going to
Biden
stay
started
there,
getting, he's hysterical.
and they're going to stay there and wait. I think the crowd is going to stay there and wait, and he's probably going to wait until Associated Press calls Pennsylvania, because once he gets that 266, well, I mean, did this happen last election, Paul?
Well, supposedly Alaska went to Trump 10 minutes ago.
Okay, Alaska also went to Trump, so they gave him what, one electoral vote? How many?
I don't know how many they have.
Nothing changed because I have Associated Press right here, and there's Alaska has not been called,
Okay.
but Donald Trump is definitely going to take Alaska too. Alaska will go to Donald Trump as well. So let's see how many electoral, 3. So it's going to be 3. So basically, it'll be 266 to 70. That'll be it. Yeah, that'll be it. And even with the ones that have not been called, okay, we have Minnesota, 10 electoral votes, but we have pretty much Wisconsin is about 88% done, and Donald Trump's ahead there. And Michigan is 15 electoral votes, and Michigan is basically 66% reporting, but it would almost be like impossible for her because Arizona is being won by Trump as well, but that's 51% reporting. So I guess they could. I'd have to look at that and make some calculations and think about that. I mean, I don't think Trump is going to come out there, obviously, and say I won until he sees that electoral college bumped up to where, it needs to be. I don't think he will. I mean, unless. I feel
Looks
like-
like new President Trump, if he gets to 270, which we expect he will
He will.
fairly
Yes.
shortly. Yes, exactly. has a moment to bring about the unity that people expected after the last election. Of course, we would be kidding ourselves to think that there won't be a tremendous response to this, tremendous backlash in a lot of corners of the country.
So listen, he's going to get there because Alaska's going to be Republican, but we're not done
Yeah,
as far as calling
Yeah,
states.
Alaska.
There could be even more states that go Trump's way. This
Yeah.
could be a massive landslide
Yeah.
just by what
He's
we're
gonna go
looking at
over
in the polls.
270.
Fox
He
News
is.
decision desk count now
Just like
projecting
2016, he had over 300.
Minnesota, and her running mate Tim Walz serves as the state's governor there. That takes it up to 267 to 226. But again, Donald J. Trump will be the 47th president of the United States.
And
More
I-
Democracy 24 special coverage next.
Yep. He will. It's game over. They can't make it now. It fell a certain way this time.
If you have generalized myasthenia gravis,
Anyway, I'm just like sitting here going, I knew this was going to happen. I saw him winning. My husband saw it. Everybody saw that this is just too big to rig. And I don't know, how much longer we're going to be waiting around to see Trump speak, but he 100% is the 47th president of the United States. So we know that there's some things that they're going to try to do. CBC. Let's go see what CNN maybe is saying. I noticed they were. Three days ago, we went live. It's all old news. I have the freshest stuff right here in front of me. They're not letting me see it, huh? No.
injection that takes about 32 minutes.
Okay, let's see. Yeah. Maybe the commercials. I want to see what other channels are saying.
Give us 1 second. We're just going to try to connect.
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay,
You
so
can hear me?
everybody's doing
Yep,
the
we
same
got you,
thing.
Jay.
So here's what's happening. Every station, everywhere is showing Trump. Everywhere. CBC, CBS, whatever. They're all going to show this election speech. So we are watching a historical moment, and I'm literally almost broke down crying because it's been so hard, We've all been through so much.
Now trying to leave minorities behind. You're seeing minorities flock to the GOP, to the Republican Party in droves.
Are you still there?
I'm here.
Okay, just to pick up on that point, for you, what's been the most interesting demographic that you've seen tonight? The one that tells a story to you?
Well, I think there's been a couple of them. One is obviously the Republican Party, but also, there was a big controversy or a faux controversy.
I can't play that music because it'll get me in trouble on YouTube I think I'm supposed to be live on YouTube. Been trying to look.
Jay, I don't know if you can hear me. We really are struggling to hear you. I appreciate you trying. If you'd like to put JD Vance on the phone, that would be fantastic. But in time, Jay Shabria, thanks very much. Sorry to let you go, but we just can't hear you anymore, unfortunately. We were going to ask Jay what Canada could expect from a Trump presidency. Do you have any idea?
I he may or may not want to
Look at their
renegotiate any of the
demeanor.
deals that I think he thought he had a pretty good
It's almost like we're at a
trade
funeral
policy
now.
with Canada when he was in office. If
I feel like
anything
we're
has
at a
been
funeral. Look at these
substantially
people's
changed,
faces.
he might go back and look at that. But I think you said before that Justin Trudeau needed to call him right away for Canada. It will matter to Trump. He wants.
I'd be delighted to hear that too.
He wants the compliments, so compliment him. He wants the acknowledgement of the achievement. Do the easy stuff. I think he's a easier person to get along with. A lot of people give him credit for. But yeah, he wants wins. He wants success. He wants the economy to be
nice.
roaring hot. So. And that's not going to be at the expense of
Associated Press.
our neighbor.
They should have already bumped this number up. It should not even be here. We should be looking at Trump already taken Pennsylvania. They've been doing this all night, and so other stations have been calling it though.
Something like that in October that he intends to.
What, Paul? Yeah, a lot of them are calling it, but
the
Associated
agreement.
Press.
But you're quite right. The man who brokered the deal isn't the man who's going to leave it. Will he put pressure on us around different issues? Undoubtedly.
Of course.
And I do think on the tariffs, some of the people around Trump, it's kind of to your point, Kevin, we're saying that this is leverage. It is not for sure going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
We've experienced it. We know that it can happen, but it is a button to push in a negotiation that isn't really meant to target Canada anyway. It's really meant to target China, obviously, but it is a part of his strategy is to say it's coming, watch out, and then either do it or not do it or water it down.
Right.
Yeah.
So beyond what happens to Canada, I mean, we
Or
can
they
all
look
sort of imagine what
devastated.
day one looks like. Do you think the list is very, very clear for Donald?
He's going to close the border on day one. I mean, that's what
How? What do you mean?
he's good.
I want to go back over here. I don't want to miss. Oh no! Actually, they're all going to show Trump. So
Everything that he
let
can.
me see
I think
what else I
he'll
can
get
do
with his
here.
team right away and figure out how many
I wanna
executive
catch
orders it
people
will
falling
take
apart. MS.
to get that as much done as possible. Put pressure on Mexico in the transition period through.
What? Did they give him Wisconsin? Yeah, they basically Wisconsin is at 89% reporting. Donald Trump has taken the lead, and they have not called it on Associated Press, even though other stations are. I'm not going to so he's over the limit at this point with Wisconsin and Pennsylvania. As a matter of fact, in 2016, Trump, I think, had 303 electoral votes, if I'm remembering correctly. I'm just going by memory because I was covering it so much. And so let's go see some people falling apart on MSNBC. I'm really hoping I can find this. First, they won't let me come on. Then they send me through this crazy type of commercial, and then we'll get through the commercial, and then let's just see what's happening. They had made so many memes of that one person that you can't tell if it's a girl or a guy, but it is a girl and she's screaming. They made her into a Lifetime meme. And so this is what I'm kind of hoping for, but I'm not sure. Maybe some phone throwing, crying. I think he's going to do it. Anyway, Trump has pretty much just won 100% president of the United States. He's going to be the 47th president of the United States. And this is breaking news. If you're just tuning in, I am live. I am on top of Associated Press. I'm on top of all the news stations. I think it's part 4 at this point. I'm not sure if it's 4 or 5. I've been dancing. It's been a long night. And we just got an answer to prayer, and they can't reverse this. This is not gonna. We're not gonna wake up tomorrow and Kamala Harris is gonna take it. It's just not possible. It's not possible at all. And Donald Trump is coming out to this right here. All the stations are airing this right here, and they have the stage set for him. Like, I think he's just going to wait for AP to call a bunch of stuff and then, give his victory speech tonight. Kamala's gone. All of her people walked out. That's a wrap. That's what we prayed for. That's what, my husband and I, we've been praying so much with our church every week. And, Sunday night, we had a special prayer, and a lot of people prayed at 6:00 last night. And how about this? God answered our prayer. So we were all asking for the Lord to give us more time in America. And now we have a new battle with a bunch of people getting upset, I'm sure. He's going to speak. Oh, thanks, Connie, for keeping me informed here. I know, really, we've never prayed so hard in our life. We became Christians 6 more times, ABC saying he's going to speak soon. Okay, so yeah, I don't want to miss that. I have this kind of queued up, though. They're playing music, and I'll get in trouble if I play it. Ugh, they're playing Elvis. Why? All right, so... and finally, my wish has come true. This election is over.
Hey, I'm Kevin, and I'm one of the co-founders of IMI.
Sorry. I need to blast anybody's ears while we're going through a painful commercial. Let's see if we can get through this sponsored ad.
We make the world's first health.
The most irritating commercials ever. You have a White House with a bunch of gates and stuff built up in front of it. People are talking about that, and some fence around it. They're showing the party. They have polls in Wisconsin where people are apparently still working. Here's the AP map. They got it all red, but interestingly enough, they haven't called Wisconsin. They haven't called, have they called Pennsylvania? Let's see. It's Pennsylvania. I don't think they called it. It's 248, 214. 248. Yeah. Okay, so like that. And I'm getting ready to get out of here, out of that one. And so people are just having a great time. I mean, I don't know, have these people realized it? Are they just there? They just don't even know. I mean, they're just having a good old time. Everybody's standing around happy. And dancing and just kind of waiting around for Trump. We have 176,000 people watching Fox News Live right now. And Intercessors for America just got a notification, and they also have said the same thing, that Donald Trump has won President of the United States. And so I'm getting notifications from all kinds of other media as well. Everybody is, getting the memo. We've all come to the realization that our prayer has been answered. Indeed, has been answered. And wow. So what do we have to pray for now? We have to pray that things don't backfire.
You see thousands of people waiting, and we are about to hear from the next president of the United States. He will be 45 and 47, and we're waiting for him to join the room. We'll take you there, obviously, as soon as that gets underway. In the meantime, Grady Trimble is in Michigan. Let's get a quick update just outside of Detroit. Hi, Grady.
Hey, Martha. Yeah, people were getting a little bit tired here, but then the call for Pennsylvania was like a jolt of electricity through this room at the Michigan GOP watch party. And the crowd started chanting USA. They started chanting Trump, 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 as it now appears he will be the 47th president of the United States. Now, in addition to Trump and the call for him in Pennsylvania, they're also excited about the possibility that Michigan could be the state that tips him over that magic 270 number. We're also following a very close Senate race here in Michigan, and they're feeling very confident about that as well. Republican candidate Mike Rogers looks like he could cruise to victory with the help of former President Trump. Democratic candidate Alyssa Slotkin, she went out to her crowd at her watch party at around 12:30 tonight and told them to go home and go to sleep, where here they extended this ballroom venue all through the night if they had to, and now it looks like the crowd is fired up as they await former President Trump taking the stage.
Okay, Grady, thank you. It is really important to point out how big the coattails could be tonight. Think about Bernie Moreno in Ohio. We're stuck dead in the water against Sherrod Brown. He wins. We have right now at this hour, as Grady mentioned, Mike Rogers in Michigan is up. Looks like he is getting closer. We haven't made a call there yet. Hovde in Wisconsin, leading right now. Sam Brown in Nevada is closing in on Jackie Rosen. We're talking about historic numbers here. If all of these dominoes fall, you're talking about a Senate that could be 54-46, 55-45. That wasn't in the cards. That wasn't on anybody's bingo card when you came into election night.
But these candidates have all fought really strong races, and they have all closed in a very strong way. And in fact, many of them were sort of pulling into +5, +6 in just over the last 3 weeks. So it's a fascinating part of the story. Hopefully, we'll be able to call some more of those soon.
Former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy says with these coattails, you could see the House going Republican as well, and that would be a part of the story as well. Let's go back out to Trace Gallagher on the West Coast with his panel. Hey, Trace.
Brett, thank you. Martha, thank you as well. We've got our panel, Steve Hilton, Jody Armour, Katie McGee-White, and John O'Caldwell. You're talking to your panel, Brett and Martha, and we were talking to ours, and Katie McGee-White was struck by the whole concept that, again, Trump was undercounted.
This is the third consecutive polling miss in a presidential cycle for Donald Trump. And we really need to be asking ourselves, why do they keep getting it wrong? And at this point, it is a choice. Back in 2016, you could argue that you were blindsided. You didn't expect it. You cannot say that anymore. This was predictable from the very start. And I think the reason they keep getting it wrong is because they still don't understand the average Trump voter. They cannot wrap their heads around why so many people support him. And it's because for a long time, actually for the past decade or so, Democrats in power didn't think they needed to. And even worse, they didn't want to. They didn't want to have to stoop down to understand the concerns over immigration, over the economy. And guess what? The American people sent a very clear message tonight that you better start paying attention, and you better start paying attention soon.
We heard a lot of words, demographic. I don't know how many times we heard it, Steve Hilton, but Gianni, you talk about black voters, black male voters especially. We heard it again and again tonight, and you think it's worth talking about.
I think this is a historic night. Black men will now, those who voted for Trump will be counted as those who helped save America from further decline. I mean, Kamala Harris has tried her best to create these accents like, you better America, you remember all of these things that she's done to try to appeal to this community, even going on Oprah Winfrey's talk show or whatever that was to say, oh, I'll pull out my gun and shoot someone that tries to come into my house. I mean, this has become nonsensical to the point that I don't know if we're looking at Medea runs for president or not. I mean, this is outstanding what has happened from the black male perspective, and I hope the Republican Party takes note.
Yeah, and you talk about young males and younger voters, Jody Armour. You're a law professor at the University of Southern California. You know what young people are geared into. Are you surprised when you see these voter analysis numbers that young voters came out heavy for Donald Trump?
Yeah, well, young voters can sniff out a fraud. They can sniff out somebody who's chameleon-like. She changes her position according to the prevailing winds. They didn't like that. Many across the country, young students said, for me, a red line also is mass atrocity, is collective punishment, is what I see going on in the Middle East, and I see us as complicit. And so they, were saying, I'm not.
So my mom would have to be, it would be like 2 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast, and a lot of my family, if they're up, they probably are, I guess. Maybe don't know I'm live, but I would say that most people stayed up. And yeah, and they're talking about the young vote. I met a lot of teenagers that, I guess, I don't know what age you have to be to vote, but I met a lot of the youth, and they were voting for the first time. And so some of them could not vote. One girl I met was 15. She could not vote.
He is now the second president in U.S. history to win 9 consecutive terms. The first was Grover Cleveland in the late 1800s. Senator J.D. Vance will become the 50th vice president of the United States. Voters expressed deep frustration with the Biden administration, and former President Trump and the future President Trump overperformed in urban areas, particularly with men, proving that the strategy that they've doubled and tripled down on over the course of the last few months absolutely succeeded and brought him back to the White House.
47th president of the United States, former President Trump now defeats Vice President Kamala Harris, who entered this race just over 100 days ago. And for Democrats, they were projecting the possibility of running the table with battleground states. David Plouffe with the Democratic campaign of Harris' campaign suggested that just yesterday. Now it is possible that Donald Trump runs the table with these states and builds on a big landslide electoral win. We don't know where the popular vote is going to finish out, but we do know that he will be going back to the White House, and with him, Britt Hume, will be a lot of changes because he will have been there once and will know what he wants to do.
He often counts for the fact that he had so much turnover in his first term, and in his term as president, by the fact that he didn't really know Washington. He was new to this realm that he had come to win the presidency, and he promises us that now he knows who he wants to hire, now he knows the kind of people he wants to have around him. A lot of people are saying that means a lot of very experienced people in Washington will be ruled out, and maybe they will. But it's going to be very interesting to see the kind of people he reaches out to and reaches out for in this days and weeks ahead as he builds his administration.
We're joined by Kayla McEnany, Trey Gowdy, and Katie Pavlich. Kayla, you've been part of the last administration. You've seen you can see the joy in all these people's faces. Think about the angst and the, all that this campaign has been through. And now there is the prospect of creating what you want to create in a second administration. Your thoughts?
Basically, people are realizing that Donald Trump won.
Indictments,
what's
two
happening in the
assassination
crowd.
attempts,
They didn't
and
realize
likely
until
come
just
from
now.
behind victory, and history is made tonight. This is a huge moment, particularly because this is a tectonic shift of the Republican Party. If all of this exit polling is true, you now have Black voters, Latino voters, young voters coming in a way that we haven't seen the party bring in a very long time, and that's due to former President, now soon to be current President Trump. And I just want to say this as we wait for him to come out. I remember having a conversation with Ivanka Trump in 2016 about his remarks. And before he went out to give those remarks, he had speech A and speech B. Speech A was a more boisterous Trumpian speech. Speech B was a speech full of unity. And he looked up, Ivanka said, saw the faces of crying Hillary voters. He ripped up the boisterous speech and said he wanted to heal the nation. And the first words he said were an appreciation for Hillary Clinton, for her service to our country. And then he said, now it is time for America to bind the wounds of division. And he said, we are a party of all races, creeds, and religions. That is more true tonight than it was 8 years ago. And I fully expect President Trump right now is maybe ripping up that more boisterous speech and preparing to unite the country.
It's an amazing message.
I hope Kaylee's right. I hope you're right.
and we're gonna get a chance to see here in a minute. Trey Gowdy said something on your show the other day about how one of the things that you hope also is they're a little more prepared this time. They've got a great transition team, and they're going to need it. And I hope that there are a lot of people who want to go in and be helpful.
Yeah, I think his transition team has done a wonderful job vetting potential candidates. And to Kaylee's point, I think a liberated Donald Trump, he's never going to be on the ballot again. This is his last term. I think, Harold, he will surprise his detractors. I think he will be not anything like what his detractors have described him as being now that he is liberated. If I'm wrong, you can hold me to that. And I think he will, a liberated Donald Trump is going to shock his detractor.
He has said that the assassination attempts had an impact on him. We saw him in many ways return to the very rough and tumble style that we've seen in Donald Trump towards the end of this. But now he will take the stage tonight as the next president of the United States, and he will not be able to run again. Yeah. And I think that is another liberating factor potentially for President Trump.
We'll never underestimate the power of unfinished business. This is a president who has caught lightning in a bottle twice, and the second time around, he now has a MAGA mandate. He'll have a Senate that he can use to push through his cabinet appointees, who can work with him on legislation, who could potentially replace a number of justices on the Supreme Court.
Or build a wall.
He could build a wall. He has a working group in Washington, D.C. We'll see what happens with the House, but he also has been working very hard on his transition, get the right people around him. He talks about the lessons he's learned about the first time in the White House. So this is a mandate tonight for him. And I think we should get a lot of credit for doing the work on the ground, going to these states to pull these Senate candidates across the line with them.
What do you think the analysis is going to be? There's going to be a lot of time to digest all of this. We're focused now on what the incoming president is going to say. What do you think the analysis is going to be on the Democratic Party and what went wrong?
I think it's going to be agonizing. I think it's going to take a little while for consensus to form about what the party needs to do next, or what it did wrong this time. It'll be grudging at first. One can certainly imagine that if the party was smart and shrewd political voices were heeded, that there'd be some major changes in their agenda and their approach in this. And you think of the issue sets that they tried to run on against this man that failed. They need to reconsider all of that. And I think it'll take a while. Now, our colleague and friend Mark Halperin, he's been very astute this particular cycle. He thinks there's going to be roaming streets and people are going to be hysterical. I hope it could happen.
Ben?
I am really looking forward to reading some of the stories, probably with a lot of anonymous sources amongst Democrats with the recriminations, and it's going to be fast and furious. And you will have people saying that Joe Biden should have dropped out the day after, not dropped out, but said he was not running for re-election on the day after that midterm in 2022, and either endorsed her or said, let there be a primary, and Dr. Jill Biden, there will be thoughts about her. And I wonder how chilly that White House is going to be for the next 90 days as they try to figure it out.
And let me just say that as Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris will certify the election results on January 6th.
A lot of irony in that moment. Harold, your thoughts?
This is how our country is organized, and it's a great education, I think, for people who had very high passions in this race. There are Democrats who were fervently for Joe Biden. He performed poorly during a debate, and the party switched to Kamala Harris, and there was genuine excitement, I think, built over a period of time. And some of that excitement was an aversion and almost a dislike and a disdain for Donald Trump. But I hope it's a moment that we can all grow from, because if we don't, not in a selfish, partisan way, Democrats won't progress. And I don't think you can fly and soar as a great country unless you have both wings working together. And President Trump, tonight, I'm going to be interested in that tone, Kayla. I was reminded of your words, and reminded of what you said as you shared it. I remember that story. And
you know what I haven't seen? I'm just going to take a little quick break away. I'm checking out the AP, and I don't know why they have not updated it. This was the live updated at 11:10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and they've not given Trump Pennsylvania, and they've not given Trump Alaska. I don't know why. They have not given him Wisconsin, and they should be giving him Minnesota. And they should be giving, oh, absolutely. Okay, let's see. Arizona is 51%. So I guess that, they're not, it won't matter. So it won't matter, but I'm just kind of looking at this as we all wait.
There's never Trumpers or Republican and the Lincoln Project people and Bill Kristol and people.
What'd you say, Paul? Yeah, there's different reports.
We'll get to the never Trumpers soon enough and the hundreds of millions of dollars wasted on them. Look, Donald Trump won this on policy and personality. I don't want to be remiss here. He is talking about energy independence, manufacturing, an economy where everybody is working, no new foreign wars, getting out of the entanglements we currently have, respecting and resourcing law enforcement, border patrol, military. And by the way, friends, we don't get those policies without that personality. What did we hear during the Republican primary? I want Donald Trump's policies without his personality. Good luck with that. You don't get this strength and this resolve and this toughness. You don't get those policies without that. But I'm going to say this. It's on this phone that Huma Abedin placed a call 2:30 a.m. on November 9th, 2016. And on the other line was Secretary Clinton to concede the race to Donald Trump on my phone. I handed it to him. And I said to Vice President-elect Mike Pence, make sure Hillary actually concedes. She did. And President Trump was gracious to them too. They came to the luncheon at the Capitol after the inauguration. The Obamas and the Clintons were there. I was there to see it myself. And then something just changed. The Washington Post said, let's impeach him at noon, 2 minutes after he's inaugurated. Melania wrote about this in her book. So Harold, I hear you. I hope everybody can unify. But I got to tell you, my friend, I think it starts with your party and not mine.
Fair enough.
They had this guy in a courtroom. He's not an indoor cat. I get it. They had him in the courtroom. They have him impeached. They have him.
I agree, and I know you. That was my only point.
I had a gracious winner today when I talked to him. I really did. He's known for a while.
Yes,
He's gonna. I wrote this on FoxNews.com.
Trump is our
saying he's going to have a narrow landslide.
Yeah, we're just waiting for him.
But he wanted to go and earn it.
And I didn't think the people
and
around
this has
him
been
have
a
to be
long
gracious too. I
road.
think he. I know as well as
Everybody, this has been such a long road. I mean, we can't pretend this wasn't hard, and this could just be the beginning of uphill battles, because I do believe that they're going to push back. They can't steal this, so they're going to try to. I saw some stuff where they're going to try to take his power away. So we have a lot of battles, I think, but tonight we have the victory. We have the victory because he is being announced as a winner of the presidential race, and today is November the 5th. We're rolling into the 6th right now in some places. But Trump did it, honey. We went all the way to the White House, and he's getting ready to speak. I don't know why Associated Press has not called some of these states, and I think he will come out when they do and speak, is what I was thinking. But I saw the crowd here tonight at the party in Florida. They are at Mar-a-Lago at a, election party, and I saw the look on their faces. They had not realized it. They realized it, and they were just, wow. It was just like, it went like a wave. Like me, I was crying. I was almost
The
in tears.
iconic image and the fight.
Absolutely.
Warrior president.
And it worked.
Yeah, toughest son of a gun we ever saw. That was the last note you see in that ad. And I think, I think for whatever you think of the guy, you got to admire that.
Yeah.
I mean, the adversity, he's everything we've seen in other presidencies and other political figures who've gone.
And I will tell you that I did see some TikToks. Elon Musk is there at the election party with one of his sons. And I saw Trump going around. I think he was at a different party than he's coming over to this one. So he was walking amongst the crowd at Mar-a-Lago. I guess this is Mar-a-Lago. I have to look again. But it's been a long day. I've been on for a long time. This is take 4. And let's see if he's coming out. Eventually he will, but we know that we have had all the people behind Trump to take him all the way. I mean, I didn't see any way at all he was not going to win. I absolutely saw no other way. And with all the people that he has around him, absolutely, it was a win to me. I didn't even question it at all.
Is his running mate, now Vice President-elect J.D. Vance. They're backstage. We were told they were going to come out as soon as the election was called.
That's what I said.
So now we're just waiting. We asked for a 2-minute warning. I don't know if we're going to get one, but hopefully we will see him soon.
I told you.
And so I just want to add a little bit of perspective, just as a Capitol Hill reporter that's been covering the former president for a while. When I came to Congress 3 years ago, talked privately with many powerful Republicans who did not want to see the former president back in Washington, and then to see the legal battles that he went through and Republicans having to stand up for him. And then he went through the primary process. As Kelly and Conway just said, he earned it state by state by state, and then came back to Washington in the spring and went to the RNC and claimed the nomination.
The truth is, Kamala lost the popular vote and the electoral vote. And it does look like a tight popular vote. She lost about it's like 5 million, which I don't even know how she got that high. I don't know how I really don't. And she's standing still at 214, and they should have Trump over 270 now. They are acting like the devil with not giving him at least Alaska and at least Pennsylvania and some other states. We've been looking at this all night. I've been clicking on these. And so these are 7 swing states. He was given 2 hours ago at this point. He did get North Carolina and Georgia. And he should be getting PA for sure, which is another swing state, which he needed 3 to win. He did. So those were the 3. Those were the 3 big states that Trump took away tonight. Out of the 7, although I think he's ahead in every single one of the swing states except for maybe 1, and they're only like 50% voting count for some reason. Some of the polls closed late, like Nevada stayed open till 10 in about an hour and 18 minutes ago. So there's still counting going on, but it doesn't matter because they cannot take it away and they can't steal it. We're not going to wake up tomorrow like we did in 2020 and it's not gonna change. This is a set. And AP needs to get off their butt and they need to call this ASAP. They need to go ahead and call it for Trump and stop this, because this is keeping me up right now. It's keeping you up. Like if AP, Trump, I told you Trump is not going to come out until they do this. I don't care if all the other stations do. They are the ones that are like, they're God. They're God in the media world. When AP secures that thing, then it's set. And so Trump is not going to walk out on stage until they do that. So that's why we pray right now that they would do it. Amen. All right. So thanks for praying with me on that. And thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching this historical moment where we're watching all of our prayers be birthed right now. We're watching everybody admit Trump won. I don't care if they're liberal, Democrats, whoever they all are saying it. They all know it's game over. They probably knew anyway. So I don't know how much longer Trump's going to make everybody wait. Let's see.
They were holding out hope that the blue wall could somehow come together, but it's going to be a red wall.
90 minutes before that, they were told to go to bed.
I got the text.
90 minutes before all of this, Jen O'Malley Dillon, the Harris campaign person, said everyone can go to bed and come back tomorrow.
She didn't even address her own supporters. We want her to call President Trump. She didn't talk to the people who were assembled there for hours for her. It just seems very ungracious. By the way, it ended up being a very bad split screen. You probably couldn't see it here, but they're filing out. And
Oh, I want you to also know that Kamala will not be speaking tonight. She's gone. She left. And so her campaign co-chair confirmed Kamala is refusing to speak. And I had downloaded the little video and I'd forgotten to put it up here so you could see it. So she's not going to concede tonight. At least we won't expect to see that. Like they were talking about how Hillary did concede, because Hillary conceded in 2016 that night. So what I'm doing right now is looking on X, and and I knew Elon Musk had posted something, and he is so hilarious. Unfortunately, I can't show my iPad up, but he's moving into the White House. He posted this actually 1 hour ago, which is hilarious. Have I been sitting here this long? Let me see. Yes, I have. 1 hour. When I realized, so he has he's got the kitchen sink in his hand. That is so funny. What a funny meme. Elon Musk has posted himself carrying a kitchen sink into the White House. Oh God, he is really. There's moments when I just laugh out loud at him. He is so funny. 19 million views later, I see it. At that, he did this at 9:35. Gosh, I'm late. I'm gonna repost that. So you can follow me under Promo Girl 07 over there on. I still call it Twitter. So I wanted to see what he put. That is so funny. And you know that President Trump, we can officially call him president now. President Trump did create a brand new position for him that's never been had before. And he will be, they've already gotten some crazy dope acronym. And I can't remember what it is, but it's all about fighting corruption in the government. We already know that all that stuff with Sean Combs, P. Diddy, is raveling apart. And last time we saw, was it Beyonce going up there and speaking? She was a complete wreck because they know what's coming. So there's memes breaking out all over social media. Craziest, funniest stuff you ever could see with dancing and music to our ears, where all these channels are having to admit that Trump has won. So this is going to be great. We also have a victory in California with a prop being overturned, Prop 47, which was allowing criminals to steal $950 a day with no punishment, no felony. And so we all voted to Prop, I think, 36 in, and that overturned that. We have a victory in that. And I think Gascon was removed from power. But I don't know how California did not go red. We stayed blue, which didn't make any sense to me. And so did Washington and Oregon. So let's take a look over one more time at the election results, and nothing's changed. It's kind of like staying. He's coming out. Okay, let's go over here. Yay, he's finally coming out.
Democrat. It's painful, but you have to have one. How did you lose, and how did you lose the South?
The easiest way to do it for them would be to simply say, if Joe Biden hadn't clung to the job, clung to the nomination, and hidden his condition with a lot of help, they could have had an open nominating process and gotten a more attractive nominee.
I'll bring you the
would have been freer to walk away from Biden's policies and would have had a better shot. I mean, I think that's the easiest, simplest solution. But I'm not sure that's where they'll go. But that makes sense.
I don't think you can pass over an African American female, which is a very loyal constituency for the Democratic Party. I don't see how they have to pass over.
But if he left the office and she'd run, she would have been put through a different process and would have had competition and the whole thing would have been different. Yeah.
But I mean, but Harold, you have a Democratic Party that's pretty old. I mean, you have Nancy
Yes, we
Pelosi
just
and Chuck
moved.
Schumer
Oh, yes, we
and Joe
did.
Biden.
Yes, we did, everybody.
This year,
Woo!
you got Josh
Look at this.
Shapiro.
Look at this.
That's a different kind of
All right,
Democrat.
honey,
And
he's
that
coming out
is
now.
not
I'm
the
gonna show you why.
progressive Democrat that we
I'm going to show you why Trump is coming out. Here it is right now. They gave it to him 267. He only needs 270 to win, but it's a done deal. PA is in the red. Woo! I'm waking people up. I hope I'm not, but Pennsylvania has been awarded to Trump. Praise God and hallelujah. Yes, it's on. It's over. It's over. PA right here, and we have oh yeah, in Wisconsin. Go ahead and give it to Trump right there. It'll be 10 more electoral votes. It'll be a 277. No, 260. Anyway, yeah, 277. And so he'll be over the 270, and Trump is officially president. So he's coming out right now. He can come out. This is it.
Who nominated a Bill Clinton and a Barack Obama?
He can officially, Trump can with confidence, may I add, come out because AP just changed the numbers. And I don't care what networks did what, we are in, and it's not going to change now. We just made history officially, and I wanted you to know Pennsylvania has been awarded to Trump. So it's no turning back. Kamala is probably drinking a lot right now. Let's go back over here.
I think Trey, you were asking a serious question, and Britt gave a very serious answer. I think that's going to be part of the answer. And we've got to look long and hard about whether or not the way we campaign sometimes with identity politics, then at the end, is that the right way to do it? But before you get there, you got to get a purpose and a message. And we'll get there. And we've got a long history of figuring these things out as a nation, as a party. And we'll figure it out this time.
So the carnage speech got a lot of attention at the inauguration. Do we think that
Oh, yeah.
this speech,
That's what we meant.
we're actually told that the teleprompters have been removed from the stage, so we could be in for a long haul. We don't know. But, what do you think? You know, he's coming, but there may not be.
I'm saying he was off the teleprompter anyway, but he, the other night at the Alphabet dinner, he was upset that there were teleprompters, so, because he doesn't want to use them.
Right. So, Dana, what does this speech look like?
This one right now?
Yeah.
I think look, I don't know. He's one of the most unpredictable people too. So I think that's why we're all here, and I'm wide awake, and I've been awake for almost 24 hours now. And I am curious to see. I think I wasn't just thinking about this speech. I'm thinking about the inauguration speech, which would be 8 years since Carnage speech. He has a wide range of the types of speeches that he can give. If you think even within a speech, there's range. If you think about the RNC convention, it started off with like, oh, wow, yeah. And then after a while, like, wow, he's still talking. It was like so long, and then kind of got off script, and people thought, oh, he kind of lost opportunity. But he didn't. I think if you look at these people who would take off work, drive somewhere in the middle of the night to go and get in line, to wait for hours, to then stay at a rally for hours. And part of the things he has done as well is created this camaraderie amongst people so that you could go to a place where you're not afraid to wear your red MAGA hat, and you could say, I'm not the crazy one. I'm not the only one who thinks the way that I do. I can actually have friends. And that doesn't mean that there shouldn't be outreach to the other side. I believe in love thy neighbor. I love all of that. But he has created something special here. So I kind of want him to take a victory lap tonight. I don't think this is necessarily the moment for unity, especially when she won't even concede and give him the night to celebrate.
How dare her?
Kellyanne, you were looking at the popular vote. He's still
There's a brick man. I met him. Took a picture with him.
Could finish up.
And part of that is because he did run up the totals in places I was looking at, even the rural counties in Pennsylvania. He was going to win them by significant double digits, but he won them that much more. I think running up the totals in Florida, which was a swing state not that long ago, over 1.1 million votes or so. Can we rewrite your home state? And this is, look, I think that when the Democrats take a look at this candidacy, it's not going to be that she had too much time, not enough time. She's just a flawed candidate. She doesn't speak well. She doesn't work hard. I'm not being mean or partisan. I don't know why the country would have rewarded this candidate with the big job. when she couldn't make the case, what she does as vice president that affects our lives in a positive way. She was given that opportunity. I personally like to thank the women of the View tonight. For asking us questions, for having her on. Oprah, we see you, and so on and so forth. People who thought they were doing her a favor because they made her something she's not. It's the opposite for Trump. They make him something he's not. Take that one word, take that one line, take that cherry pick this, that, the other. You never get the essence. I go back, does everybody remember 5 years ago, so Laurel and Yanni, or what color dress? You hear Laurel, I hear Yanni, you see the blue dress, I see yellow dress. We were all looking at the same thing. That's the way Donald Trump is in this country. There are people who look exactly the same person and they see two different vistas. I think it's time that we try to see one. Look, I don't know who said it earlier. I'm a little worried about the reaction of the Democrats and the Commonwealth people here. I'm very worried. I think that there are a lot of unhinged people across the political spectrum. And we gave very little quarter to how many anti-common voters are out there. I don't want to hear the words racism and sexism. It's eyesight and hearing. We were listening and watching her. And I'm very worried that we've not talked a lot about how violent people may be and angry because she lost. Right. I'm afraid of that.
Right. I mean, I can just imagine thinking about The View, and a week or so ago, they were saying, you know, what is wrong with someone who would vote for him?
Michelle Obama.
And Joe Scarborough saying, you know, we weren't raised like this. Who raised these people? So I can only imagine what tomorrow is going to look like.
You know, I will say when we talk about The View, you know, what comes to mind is we mentioned the carnage speech that
President Trump's leadership, we're never going to stop fighting for you, for your dreams, for the future of your children. And after the greatest political comeback in American history, we're going to lead the greatest economic comeback in American history under Donald Trump's leadership.
Thank you very much. I knew the brain was a good one, about as good as it gets. And we love the family, and we're going to have a great 4 years, and we're going to turn our country around, make it something very special. It lost that little thing called special. We have to make it so. We're going to make this so great. It's the greatest country, and potentially the greatest country in the world by far. And right now we're going to just work very hard to get all of that back. We're going to make it the best it's ever been. We can do that. If we had to wait longer, I don't know. It was going bad, and it was going bad fast. We're going to have to seal up those borders, and we're going to have to let people come into our country. We want people to come back in, but we have to let them come back in, but they have to come in legally. They have to come in legally. Let me also express my tremendous appreciation for Susie and Chris, the job you did. Susie, come here. Come here, Susie. Chris, come here, Chris. Susie likes to stay sort of in the back. Let me. Shiny white. When it came down, it didn't look so pretty. It was going 10,000 miles an hour and it was burning like hell. I said, "What happened to your paint job?" He said, "We've never made a paint that could withstand that kind of heat." And but I saw it come down and turn around, and it was, it's like 22 stories tall, by the way. It looks a little smaller than that, but it's big. And it came down, and you saw that fire burning. And I'm saying, only Elon could do this. It must be an Elon. And I tell the story. I told it last night. I had a man on the phone. I had the screen muted, no sound. I was talking to a very important man, happens to be here. And that very important guy, one of the most important people in, I would say, the country, actually. But, I was president, and now it looks like I was going to be maybe president again. So I figured I could ask him to hold. So I asked him to hold. Especially because you're going to be president again, they hold. So I took the phone down, and I'm looking at the screen. I'm seeing this crazy thing that's going around and coming down. It looks like it's going to crash into the gantry. And I said, "Oh, no." And I said, "Do me a favor, do you mind holding for a couple of minutes? I want to see this." I thought it was a space age movie or something. I put the phone down, but I didn't pick it up for 45 minutes, and he was holding. But this spaceship came down, and I saw those engines firing, and it looked like it was over. It was going to smash. And then I saw the fire pour out from the left side, and it put it straight And it came down so gently, and then it wrapped those arms around it, and it held it. And just like you hold your baby at night, your little baby. And it was a beautiful thing to see. And I called Elon. I said, Elon, was that you? He said, yes, it was. I said, who else can do that? Can Russia do it? No. Can China do it? No. Can the United States do it other than you? No, nobody can do that. I said, that's why I love you, Elon. That's great. And you know, when we had the tragic Hurricane Helene, and it hit North Carolina, they were really devastated. The water, this was a big water, as big as we've ever seen, water hurricane. It built lakes out of nothing. Fields became lakes, and the danger was unbelievable. And the people from North Carolina came to me and they said, would it be possible, at all possible, for you to speak to Elon Musk? We need Starlink. I said, what's Starlink? It's a form of communication. So I called Elon, and I'll tell you what he had, and it was very dangerous. People would die. They had no communication. All the wires were down. I called Elon Musk. I said, Elon, you have something called Starlink. Is that right? Yes, I do. What the hell is it? He said, it's a communication system that's very good. I said, Elon, they need it really, really badly in North Carolina. Can you get it? He had that there so fast. It was incredible. So, and it was great. It saved a lot of lives. He saved a lot of lives. But he's a character. He's a special guy. He's a super genius. We have to protect our geniuses. We don't have that many of them. We have to protect our super geniuses. I want to thank some of the guys. You know, we have up here today the U.S. Open champion. He's fantastic golfer, slightly longer than me. It's a ball a little bit longer than me. Just a little bit. Bryson DeChambeau is up here someplace. What happened to Bryson? Where is he? Bryson. Oh, he was shot. He's hitting balls. Oh, he's on the way. He's hitting balls. Bryson. Oh, look at him. He's got a great career going. Great U.S. Open, Bryson. That's a fantastic job. And we also have a man, Dana White, who has done some job. He's a tough guy. So Dana started UFC and came to me, do you mind if I use your, nobody wanted to give him Marines because they said it's a rough sport, a little rough. And I helped him out a little bit, and I went and I said, this is the roughest sport I've ever seen, but I began to like it and he loved it, and nobody's done a better job in sports. And you know, he's a very motivational kind of a guy, what he does. He gets these fighters and they really go at it. And it's become one of the most successful sports enterprises anywhere at any time. It's doing so well. I'd like to ask Dana just to say a couple of words because people love to hear from him. Dana, please.
Nobody deserves this more than him, and nobody deserves this more than his family does. This is what happens when the machine comes after you. What you've seen over the last several years, this is what it looks like. Couldn't stop him. He keeps going forward. He doesn't quit. He's the most resilient, hardworking man I've ever met in my life. His family are incredible people. This is karma, ladies and gentlemen. He deserves this. They deserve it as a family. I want to thank some people real quick. I want to thank the Nelt boys, Aiden Ross, Theo Vaughn, Bustin' with the Boys, and last but not least, the mighty and powerful Joe Rogan. And thank you, America. Thank you. Have a good night.
That is a piece of work. Now he's really an amazing guy. But most of all, I want to thank the millions of hardworking Americans across the nation who have always been the heart and soul of this really great movement. We've been through so much together, and today you showed up in record numbers to deliver a victory like really, I probably like no other. This was something special, and we're gonna We're gonna pay you back. We're gonna do the best job. We're gonna turn it around. It's gotta be turned around. It's gotta be turned around fast. And we're gonna turn it around. We're gonna do it in every way, so many ways, but we're gonna do it in every way. This will forever be remembered as the day the American people regained control of their country. So I just want to say that on behalf of this great group of people, these are hardworking people. These are fantastic people, and we can add a few names like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He came in, and he's going to help make America healthy again. And now he's a great guy, and he really means it. He wants to do some things, and we're going to let him go to it. I just said, but Bobby, leave the oil to me. We have more liquid gold, oil and gas. We have more liquid gold than any country in the world, more than Saudi Arabia. We have more than Russia. Bobby, stay away from the liquid gold. Other than that, go have a good time, Bobby. We're going to be paying down debt. We're going to be reducing taxes. We can do things that nobody else can do. Nobody else is going to be able to do it. China doesn't have what we have. Nobody has what we have. But we have the greatest people also. Maybe that's the most important thing. This campaign has been so historic in so many ways. We've built the biggest, the broadest, the most unified coalition. They've never seen anything like it in all of American history. They've never seen it. Young and old, men and women, rural and urban. And we had them all helping us tonight. When you think, I mean, I was looking at it, I was watching it. They had some great analysis of the people that voted for us. Nobody's ever seen anything like that. They came from all corners, union, non-union, African American, Hispanic American, Asian American, Arab American, Muslim American. We had everybody, and it was beautiful. It was a historic realignment, uniting citizens of all backgrounds around a common core of common sense. You know, we're the party of common sense. We want to have borders. We want to have security. We want to have things be good, safe. We want great education. We want a strong and powerful military, and ideally we don't have to use it. You know, we had no wars. 4 years we had no wars, except we defeated ISIS. We defeated ISIS in record time, but we had no wars. They said, he will start a war. I'm not going to start a war. I'm going to stop wars. But this is also a massive victory for democracy and for freedom. Together, we're going to unlock America's glorious destiny. We're going to achieve the most incredible future for our people. Yesterday, as I stood at my last stop on the campaign trail, I'll never be doing a rally again. Can you believe it? I think we've done 900 rallies approximately from them. Can you imagine? 901 something, a lot of rallies. And it was sad. Everybody was sad. Many people, I said, this is our last rally. But now we're going on to something that's far more important, because the rallies were used for us to be put in this position where we can really help our country. That's what we're going to do. We're going to make our country better than it ever has been. When I said that, many people have told me that God spared my life for a reason. And that reason was to save our country and to restore America to greatness. And now we are going to fulfill that mission together. We're going to fulfill that mission. The task before us will not be easy, but I will bring every ounce of energy, spirit, and fight that I have in my soul to the job that you've entrusted to me. This is a great job. There's no job like this. This is the most important job in the world. Just as I did in my first term, we had a great first term, a great first term. I will govern by a simple motto: promises made, promises kept. We're going to keep our promises. Nothing will stop me from keeping my word to you, the people. We will make America safe, strong, prosperous, powerful, and free again. And I'm asking every citizen all across our land to join me in this noble and righteous endeavor. That's what it is. It's time to put the divisions of the past 4 years behind us. It's time to unite. And we're going to try. We have to try. And it's going to happen. Success will bring us together. I've seen that. I saw that in the first term when we became more and more successful. People started coming together. Success is going to bring us together, and we are going to start by all putting America first. We have to put our country first for at least a period of time. We have to fix it because together we can truly make America great again for all Americans. So I want to just tell you what a great honor this is. I want to thank you. I will not let you down. America's future will be bigger, better, bolder, richer, safer, and stronger than it has ever been before. God bless you and God bless America. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Wow. Okay. Well, and there you have it. I was happy to share that with everyone. And God bless you, and God bless America. And Trump he went on the way. We won. Oh my gosh! And so praise God. Let's just take one more look since Albra's here. They kept us at 267 so far, and we'll be seeing these numbers go up tomorrow because they're going to have to give him more of these swing states. Yeah, so we will see that. Harris did get a little bit more, but anyway, it's a done deal. Thanks for watching. Trump, he went all the way to the White House, baby. That's right. Prayers answered. MAGA.